What is going on to all the college football fans around the world? Big thumbs up to the Pitt Panther Nation. I'm TALK-IS-PITT. You guys are tuning into the #1 sports channel on YouTube that will eat, breathe, and shit everything Pitt. Today, ladies and gentlemen, I will be doing a way too early 2026 Pitt football preview. I will be talking about some things that happened in the offseason and also take a quick look at the 2026 Pitt football schedule. So, before I get into today's video, please like, comment, and subscribe if you have not already. Click that notification bell to stay up to date for more Pitt and college football content. Also, check out the Cash App link down below. That's where you can send your donations to my channel. With all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be trying to make videos on a more consistent basis. That was one of the things I wanted to work on this past off season. With everything that's been going on personally in my life, it's like every time I get started back up on this channel, bullshit has to arise. But it is what it is. I'm going to keep on trucking. So everybody knows last season Pitt finished the 2025 football campaign with an 8-4 record, 8-5 overall because they did lose that bowl game to East Carolina. And a lot of things happened right after that. Eli Holstein, probably the biggest news of them all. Eli Holstein transfers from Pitt. He was here for 2 years. He was the starter whenever he transferred in from Alabama. And to be honest, he did well his freshman year. He did hit that freshman wall. However, it seemed like whenever he hit that freshman wall, he really hit that freshman wall. And everything he did wrong, he kept doing it, and it kept costing us games. But when he was healthy and whatnot, he did great. It's just when he kept making mistakes, he didn't know how to stop making mistakes. And unfortunately, that cost him his job. He ended up losing the starting quarterback position to another freshman, Mason Heinchel. And honestly, I view Mason Heinchel the same way I view Eli Holstein. They both hit a brick wall. The difference between Eli and Mason Heinchel, I would say, is when Mason Heinchel makes a mistake, he tends not to, as the choo-choo train is going by, he tends not to make the same mistake twice. Or if he is making a mistake, it's not a mistake that is going to cost us the game. Eli Holstein, that was his problem. Whenever he would make mistakes, it would cost Pitt the game. Now, Mason Heinchel did hit a freshman wall towards the end of the season. And some of that is his fault by what he said in the press conference a couple days ago. He said, look, a lot of times when stuff went bad, it was because I was forcing shit that wasn't there. You know, I wasn't taking the reads. I tried to play hero. But I think Mason Heinchel, his maturity level is just that much higher than Eli Holstein's, which is why I'm more confident for Mason Heinchel moving forward. Now, not only did Eli Holstein transfer out, we lost our whole entire defensive line to the portal, the starting defensive line. Rasheem Biles ended up transferring to Texas. Money. And that left us extremely thin along the defensive line as far as experience goes, and also at linebacker as far as experience goes. Because not only did we lose Biles, we also lost Kyle Lewis, who is now in the NFL draft process. So we have a lot to replace, and we did replace some players. We got DeMarco Ward. I believe he came in from Memphis. There's another guy, Alex Sanford, I believe his name was. He came in from Purdue. Got a couple D tackles. One from Illinois, Jeremiah Warren, and the other guy from Tulane. I can't remember his name. Actually, it's not that I can't remember. I can't pronounce it. So we've bolstered the defensive line. And the good thing about these defensive tackles is they're over 300 pounds. Now, I'm not saying they're going to be monsters, but we didn't have a defensive tackle last year that was above 280. We had a very small defensive tackle room, I should say. This year, it's gotten bigger. Some of the freshmen that we got in are 300 pounds. Some of the transfers we got in are 300 pounds. So not only that, we also lost a couple coaches as well. We hired Marlon Barnett, who I believe used to coach with Narduzzi when he was at Michigan State. Joe Bowen, cannot remember where he came from. Brent Davis is going to be our tight ends coach. Joe Bowen's our linebackers coach, by the way. He replaces Ryan Manilak, who is now the defensive coordinator at UConn. So Brent Davis is going to be our tight ends coach, and Mike Prefer is going to be our special teams coordinator. He was in the NFL for about 20 years. Then he came back to college, was working at UNC. Not sure how long, but he left after last year, and now he's here with the Pittsburgh Panthers. So those are some notable notes going into this season that a lot of it occurred during the off season. And spring practice has also begun, everybody. Spring practice, March 2nd. I believe yesterday was the first day of full pads. So they were hitting, they were flying around. Narduzzi said this has probably been the cleanest first stretch of practice that he's ever had as Pitt head coach. So I'm optimistic about how Pitt can do, or how better Pitt can do in 2026. And they're going to get that opportunity September 5th when they start off the season against Miami of Ohio. Then on the 12th, they play UCF. On the 17th of September, they play Syracuse. And this schedule, I forgot to mention, is a little bit wonky. I've never seen this schedule before. But they play Syracuse on a Thursday, this early in the season. Mind you, it's also a conference game, too. Then on the 26th, they will play Bucknell, which will complete the non-conference schedule. Then they have another ACC game, October 2nd, on the road at Virginia Tech, which is on a Friday. James Franklin's taken over for the Hokies. How is he going to rebound that program? We all know he's going to be successful down there. Then on the 10th of October, we have a home game against North Carolina. On the 17th of October, it's an away game at Boston College. They're probably going to be looking for revenge since we beat the crap out of them. Not going to happen, though. Then on the 24th of October, we go on the road to play Miami. I will be paying very close attention to this game for the sole fact that I would love for us to beat Miami. I would love for us to beat a team who not only made it to the national championship, but has yet to win the ACC. And that's weird how that works. And I get it, with the 12-team playoff format, but a team who's never won their conference in the 20-year history somehow made it into the playoffs. And I'm not saying Miami did not deserve it, because they obviously did. They made it to the national championship. But anywho, everybody, on the 31st of October, we go back home to play the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Hopefully Sea-Dog or Rec Talk can make it up here for that game. Then we go on our first official bye on the 7th of November. Then we come back home on the 13th, or should I say, we stay home on the 13th after the bye to play Florida State. And then the last two games on the road on the 21st and the 28th are against Louisville and Cal. Not really sure how California is going to look. And Louisville, they've lost some pieces. I know they got somebody whose name I've heard of. I just can't think off the top of my head what that person's name is. But there you have it, guys. That was a way too early 2026 Pitt football preview. Not just the schedule, but what also happened in the offseason. I will be releasing my official prediction video sometime in August. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this video, please give it the thumbs up, because that really does help out a lot. If you have any questions or comments, you can throw them down in the comment section. And as always, let's go Pitt. Let's go Pitt. Let's go Pitt.